Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hey, happy New Year to everyone. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. I've got to look at my computer and start cleaning it out because I think I just overloaded it with so much that it keeps sending everything to the cloud, and I hate that. Just sends everything to the cloud, and I got to re-download everything, even though it's there. And so the studio software that we use is just gets a little messy. So just hope everybody's having an awesome New Year's. We were going to stream a little bit earlier, but we got too involved in the
College football playoffs.
college football players.
Right.
Oh, man, let me go to our new scene here. Let's do this. Actually,
Hello.
boom. There we
You
go.
gotta let people know here what's going on.
There you go. We are. We have some fun here. So, speaking of which,
Gotta make sure
So-
the audio's working well.
yeah, I think the audio is working fine. So,
Gotta pray.
yeah, so we're trying out some new settings and equipment. So, again, I hope everyone's having an awesome New Year's Day. And obviously, the person honking out there is having an awesome New Year's Day. Lots of fireworks here down in Mexico all night long, all day long. My dog hates it. I kind of hate it because it's just like,
Nothing
you know,
wrong with it. It's festive.
there's a time for festive and a time for, I just want to chill, watch the football game. Anyways, awesome Peach Bowl. Awesome Peach Bowl. We saw Texas and Arizona. I really thought Arizona was going to pull it off, but they didn't. Texas won. Can't be upset about that. I'm from Texas, so I got my son here. His first time on.
Um,
How you doing, doggy?
I think you gotta change the voice, the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it omnidirectional.
Okay.
I don't think I'm close enough. That's why. So, oh,
Hello. All right. Here we go. Back again. We got that interruption brought to you by Caesar Saint, our dog, who just came barreling through the door, and
sounds about right.
sounds about right. So we had to get. So my wife just kicked him out again. So hope everybody's enjoying the college playoffs, and
I'm
hope
enjoying
everything's good. And so, as you can see by the thumbnail, we're going to talk about some superhero casting and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about Lobo. We're going to talk about Superman. We've got some test screenings, some information about that. But we're also going to talk about, we can't really ignore the news of the day.
No, you cannot.
No, so
No. A
And,
little hard too.
a little hard to. My boy here, he's going to take a quick look at the comments and things like that as we roll. He's sort of like my engineer right now.
Kind of. I got multiple things going.
Maybe my engineer. I don't know. He's got lots going. He's got a game going.
I got a game going.
You got
I
one
the stream
iPad
here.
with a game going. You get the stream going there
Listen,
to check for comments.
I gotta win.
What the hell are you playing?
What else do you think I'm playing?
What is that called? Pokemon
It's a TCG game online.
TC? Oh, whatever. Okay.
Listen, love it.
So
Hey,
woke
I
up.
got the guy to rage quit.
Nice.
Woo! All right.
All right.
We can move on.
So Sugar Bowl's been canceled today. If you woke up, you saw the news.
If you haven't seen the news,
If you haven't seen
I
the
suggest
news,
you look at it.
there was a terror attack in New Orleans last night around 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning.
3:15.
What?
3:15.
3:15. You know the details a lot better than I did.
Yeah.
A gentleman, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name correctly. Looks like he's from Texas. He's a U.S. born citizen. Decided to drive his pickup truck through a crowd of people, injuring over 35, and then he got out and started shooting, and killed at least 15 so far. And we didn't have that on the bingo card for waking up on New Year's Day that the United States would be the victim of another terror attack. But that's what it is. And though, of course, the Sugar Bowl taking place there, it was the absolute wisest thing to do was to close that down. So the whole French Quarter is shut down. If you've ever been to New Orleans, the French Quarter is basically the touristy place of New Orleans. It's the place to go. There's no really other reason. I mean, unless you're going to the Sugar Bowl, unless you're going to the Superdome for an event. New Orleans, great city, but most people go to that area, the French Quarter. But that's cordoned off. That's now a full blown crime scene.
Pretty much, essentially.
FBI's taken over. We've been watching the news all morning, and as a dad, as a parent, you think about those were probably the people who died were probably all very young, probably in their 20s, much
Just
like
out trying to have a good time.
yeah, much like yourself. So it really it hit me and my wife pretty hard to see that there's probably 15 sets of parents or 15 parents waking up this morning and to phone calls that no parent should ever get. But it seems the other thing is there's a lot of questions to be answered. There's there's not a lot of answers out there right now for what's been going on. But what we do know is that this does have something to do. The gentleman was did not act alone. There's 4 or 5 other individuals that they're looking for.
Don't know who they are.
Don't know who they are. But I'm sure they have an idea who they are. They're not going to tell us. He was flying an Islamic State flag or an ISIS flag on his truck. So yes, this is ISIS related. It's in our country. This gentleman was a former military.
Former veteran, Army vet.
Yeah.
I didn't specify his tour or time of tour.
It said they thought he was honorably discharged, but they were checking into that. I mean, I guess that's kind of easy to check into.
Well, it's kind of easy in the sense that military records are pretty organized, but
yeah,
there could be reasons why certain things are written. You know what I mean? We like to sweep things underneath the rug when we can.
Yeah. He's obviously of some Arab descent, based off of his name. And I'm trying to find his name. I had his name.
It was it Shamoun Al-Jinbar?
Something like that. Yeah.
I was reading it just like 20 minutes ago.
And if he was a U.S.-born citizen, he was either radicalized in his military tours overseas or went overseas. He's got a criminal record, a minor criminal record. He's got a couple of arrests in Katy, Texas.
Nothing that would lead you to believe he'd be
minor
a mastermind of this.
Yeah, minor theft and driving with an invalid license.
I found it. Shamsud Dinjabar.
Dinjabar. You know, a lot of people are looking at the picture and go, oh, he's brown, he's got a beard, he must be. Yeah, it all fits. It all fits, right? And so it's just a really sad day for that, especially it being New Year's, 2025. And I think more information will come. But, I mean, for me, there was some implication that the truck that they used was rented or came over the border, or there was some, what it is this. The way I look at it is this. Things that Donald Trump says are dismissed in the mainstream media as fear-mongering, propaganda, lies, whatever, right? And then 3 to 6 months later, it turns out he's telling the truth. I just...
Sounds about right. Or there's just some truth to it. Reportedly, from what I recall, the truck came over the border not 30 minutes.
In November 15th or something like that.
November 30th, yes.
Yeah, and...
who knows what was in the truck before?
Who knows what was in it?
Who was in it?
First of all, we're going to talk about the border. My wife told me a couple stories today, and she would know because she spoke to people who've been over the borders 5-6 times. And we'll tell you what the real story is, because if you think it's like there's everybody, you see the videos. But anyways, we'll get to that in a second. But as far as what Donald Trump says, this guy was either radicalized because, if you're flying an ISIS flag, you've been radicalized. If you're doing this for the purpose of ISIS, you've been radicalized. So he was either radicalized overseas during his military tour,
mm-hmm.
or he has some international travel, or scary thought
connection.
He was radicalized here, and there's a cell, and there's something going on.
It's hard to jump.
It's hard to jump to those conclusions, but those are options.
Yeah, of course, but
I'm
just hoping the audio's catching me well.
I think so. It is.
I hope so.
So
a little test here and there.
But anyways, so that's what's going on. We're going to keep monitoring the situation. But as far as the border is concerned, if this has anything to do with, if any of this stuff came over the border, then, we have to look at Donald Trump and go, yeah, I guess he was right. And guess the people who said he's just fear-mongering were just full of crap and just trying to cover for a failed administration. Look at it. I mean, it's failed. It's just, the guy's on vacation. Has he even said anything? Did he make a statement? Did our president make is he actually...
A public statement? I'm not sure.
But
I know he made not like a speech. No, not that I know.
Yeah.
There was a statement put out by the president, if he wrote it.
He didn't write that.
I mean, but that's it.
Last 3 weeks of his tenure, he's taking vacation. Yeah.
Picture.
That's the picture. I saw the picture. He's on vacation, and he's given pardons. He commuted the sentences of the 9/11 mastermind.
Not a good week for him.
No,
not a good week.
Oh, this is a good one. Besides what President Biden isn't doing, here we go.
Let's talk about what he is doing. Those billions of dollars I told you about.
$2.5 billion more to Ukraine for defense assistance. Even though I think pretty much the American public has had their fill fair share of just not wanting to send that much money overseas anymore. So I don't know. January 20th can't come soon enough.
I guess at this point, yeah, 20 days. 20 days. You know.
So sad news, but we got to cover it. It's politics. We do cover politics every now and again on this channel. Just yeah,
to 12.
I don't. I mean, as far as anything else going, I had other articles here saying, of course, we lost a president in the last week, Jimmy Carter.
True. Yeah.
Not revered as a great president, but he was a great human being.
Oh.
After being president, he was a great human being, but he was not a great president. And then for some reason, they issued an arrest warrant for the former president of South Korea.
Yeah, because he declared martial law that one time, and I think a couple other scandals. But real quickly, back to the New Orleans.
Yeah.
Found out he was in the U.S. Army. Jabbar was in the U.S. Army for 10 years, including a 2009 deployment to Afghanistan. So he was in Afghanistan.
Well, Afghanistan's a fun place.
Rising to the rank of staff sergeant, as a U.S. official has said.
Well, I'm sure more will be coming out about him.
Yeah.
More will come out about him.
Served in the reserves from 2015 to 2020, and that's about all we've got.
And for some reason, on the same morning that we wake up to this news, someone decided to... this story is weird because there's not a lot of information. You'd think there'd be a lot of information on this one. 1 dead, several injured in a Tesla Cybertruck fire near Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Basically, someone parked their Tesla truck outside of this Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. And they're not saying whether it was a mechanical failure that caused this thing to light up, or if the guy lit himself on fire, lit it up on purpose. But he's inside the truck. That's what the dead guy.
Yeah, there's no information. There's no real.
It blew up.
That. They don't know anything. They don't know if it's an attack. They don't know if it was a statement. They don't know if it was an accident. Could have been engineering, faulty wiring. I don't know. It could have been a million things.
A Trump hotel, an Elon Musk car. You got to think it's a statement,
right? That's what I'd imagine.
I would think it's a statement,
right? That was my first jump, especially with what happened this morning. For that to happen the same evening, actually morning, right?
Well. Yeah.
Morning, yeah, it was morning as well. It's a little hard to not think coincidence.
Yeah, it's just weird. Really weird.
Coincidence. Right.
And yeah, just weird. And hopefully we get some answers, but I'm not really. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get answers
on that one.
Yeah. Holy crap!
Yeah. I've been telling you, they've been killing them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been.
We're also monitoring the other football game, the Rose Bowl, right now, which was supposed to be a better game than the one we saw in the Peach Bowl, which was an awesome,
fantastic,
dramatic, like I said,
amazing
football game. But it looks like Ohio State, go Buckeyes! I know I lived in Michigan.
What's wrong with you?
We had our grandfather lived in Ohio.
We lived in Michigan.
I know.
You got me a Michigan hat
because you wanted a Michigan hat.
Well, I just wanted a hat from Michigan.
Go Ohio. Go Buckeyes.
Wow, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Actually, I would probably kind of prefer to see Ohio.
They're killing them 31-0.
But at the same time, I would love to see the Duck continue.
The Ducks.
I love the Duck. The mascot. You know, it's based off of Donald, right?
Well, they're not going to Disney World.
No.
They are not going to Disney World. So, all right. So, a lot of sad news there. A lot of just kind of like. So, let's get to some fun news. I like fun news.
You like fun news?
I like fun news. So, besides.
I'm looking everywhere but the camera.
You
look over there.
I know, you're all over the place. This is the first time you've been on camera. We actually figured out how to get this camera to actually do what we needed to do.
Yeah.
The thing is, the battery doesn't stay very long, so you'll probably die out halfway through the stream.
That sounds about right.
That sounds.
If I do that, I'll just lie down here. It's a little easier for me.
Yeah. So, let me see that.
I'm just trying to make sure the audio is working, so I keep putting it back up to my ear.
There we go.
That's why I moved closer, because earlier it was like a little bit of a echo from me. It sounded like I was in the background.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So this is not a surprise, but it's awesome. Jason Momoa to play Lobo in the Supergirl movie.
I saw this. I thought this was cool. This is a good fit.
Yeah.
In terms of like looks.
I mean, he's gonna look like. He doesn't look like the original. That's Lobo's first appearance, right here.
We're not doing that.
This
Lobo
is
design. We're
doing
the
Omega Man. This is his first ever. He really didn't have much to say in this. I actually did a video on this, Lobo's origin, his first appearance, and it's like a 2-set. The Omega Man. I don't think they do the Omega Man anymore. It's this comic book. It's very space agey. It's very mystical space. Yeah, it's
very dated.
Very dated. As you can see, he's got Callista there hanging off of his. That's what his motorcycle used to look like. before you get the actual redesign of the hog. And it's a little suggestive there with the bright light kind of flashing below her split legs.
But I didn't really notice that until you pointed that out,
just
Gr1ngo, but all right.
ripped right there. Yeah, so he's a little bit of a savage in this, and then he comes back later on in Omega Men. So he's that's his costume, purple and orange and whatnot. Hey, it was the 70s.
I'm glad we changed it.
So there you go, kind of like what he looked like and all that.
Just give me the Lobo we know now, please.
So yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the Lobo we know now. So, but yeah, Jason Momoa to play that. Of course, we all know him from Aquaman. Thank God he's not gonna be Aquaman.
He didn't do a bad job.
It just wasn't
just
a
not
good
a good
film.
movie.
Not a good movie, especially the second one. The second one. Oh my God, the second one. So
what was it about? I forgot.
The Lost
the
Kingdom,
gas,
and then the everything's
the green
we're gonna
gas.
attack the world with carbon emissions. I'm like, oh my God, really? We went there. So Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow as a Lobo. Not sure. I mean, Superman. We're gonna talk about Superman in a second, but the Alien Bounty Hunter. I mean,
when does the Supergirl movie come out?
They haven't announced that. I mean, it's got to be a couple of years from now, but not. Yeah, I mean, that's basically he's always wanted to play the role. So hey,
he's got the looks.
He's got the looks. He can do it.
I think he can. I think it's up his alley.
Yeah. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow arrives in theaters June 26, 2026. Stars Millie Alcock as the hero. It'll be the second feature in a new DC universe overseen by DC. So it's basically the follow-up to Superman that's coming out this year.
So in other words, if this Superman movie does well, that should do decent at least, if not well.
I mean...
Because if this one tanks, I don't think it's going to, but if it does tank...
Oh, well, we're going to talk about that. There's a lot of rumors about that one right now.
Really? The new Superman?
Woo, yeah. I don't believe them, but...
Are they good or bad rumors?
There's some bad rumors.
What do you mean there's some bad
rumors?
There's some
bad rumors.
Gr1ngo, I was promised a good Superman movie.
I'm excited about Lobo. I like Lobo.
This is good casting.
Good casting. So far, okay. But there's been some problems with Batman 2 delayed again. We already talked about that in a previous stream. I'm okay with it. You want to get the script right? Get the script right. Just give me a good movie. Take 5 years, take 6 years, whatever.
Okay, not 5 years. 5 years, I'm going to forget about this movie. I'm going to see it come back up again. I'll go watch it, but I'll be like, wow, I couldn't bring this sooner.
I mean, sometimes, you gotta see quantity, quality.
I like quality, but
so
quality.
I'm okay.
Quality is also dependent on how quick it comes out.
Do you know how long we had to wait for Empire Strikes Back after Star Wars? Do you know how long we had to wait for,
Years.
Okay, do you know how much we had? You know how long we had to wait for Phantom Menace after Return of the Jedi?
Like a
decade. Decades?
Yeah, decade.
So it's okay, right?
No, I get that. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, when it comes to these movies, you can't keep it on the shelf for too long.
Well, they're gonna have the Clayface movie.
True, but even then,
and the phase one for this is called Gods and Monsters. So you're gonna have Clayface. Speaking of a god and a monster, you have Lobo. Figure a god and monster. So
who's the god? Darkseid? No, they won't.
Well, well technically you call Superman a god.
True.
I mean, in relative terms. So, and then there's some talk: is Robert Pattinson going to become just the mainstream Batman? I don't think so, but there's some talk about that. But and again,
I mean, he did a good job.
He does a great.
He did a great job. I like that. I say why not?
Huh. Brave and the Bold's been pushed back. I think that's a Batman Robin
film, or is it animated?
Looks like it's
animated
reboot. Yeah, reboot. The filmmaker said the movie has been postponed, but Gunn responded to a fan by claiming the movie hasn't been delayed. While we expect it to eventually come to fruition, Muschietti would arguably, who'd be the director, be a much better fit for the horror-focused Clayface, where Batman will likely play a small role. So there's a lot of things up in the air, but at least Gunn's answering questions, trying to be like, hey. Okay, here we go. Superman's supposed test screenings.
Uh-oh.
All right, so look, there's test screenings and then there's raw footage. Now, this article came out and people just ran with it saying it's doomed and whatnot. Okay, here's how this works. All right, not an expert, but I kind of read into it. Right? As movie executives, if you are an executive at a studio, you're going to see rough cuts of the film.
All the time.
All the time. You're going to see rough cuts without CGI, without special effects. You're going to see rough cuts. So it's not going to, you're going to look at it. I mean, it's not complete. And so some executives saw some rough cuts, and I think one executive said he didn't like how it looked. The buzz was said to be not good, and the tone was compared to the first Captain America movie and the Mummy films.
I like those movies.
Yeah.
Those are good. I love the first Captain America movie.
Yeah,
kidding me?
That was a good one.
I love watching that.
Yeah.
I watch that on repeat.
No, it says, that doesn't sound true. But fortunately, subsequent reports suggested many who attended these internal screenings felt it was Guardians of the Galaxy level good. So there's some good talk coming up, bad talk, and people are just taking the bad talk and running with it. Test screenings are when they actually have the film ready.
Right.
And they actually test it. It comes out in July, and they're already trying to, it's like, yes, there's a lot riding on this film. I understand. There's a ton riding on this film.
I mean, a whole new cinematic universe is pretty much based on this thing.
Well, yeah.
And a ton more.
Yeah.
I mean.
But it comes out in July. It's January 1st.
Give it time.
Just look. What has Gunn done? He's done Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Right.
1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of Part 3, of Volume 3. It was okay. But I thought 1 and 2 were good. He's done Creature Commandos. I think I like his approach to this whole idea of being the CEO. I like how you can't get Kevin Feige on a podcast or on Twitter to talk and answer questions from fans. But Gunn will do that.
Right.
They got a podcast out there. I got to start listening to the podcast, DC Studios podcast. I guess it comes out every week and they give you a little bit of information here and there. But I just don't see.
There's nothing here that screams me bad.
Yeah. As you might expect, the usual suspects have jumped on this to paint the DCU in a negative light. We'd advise taking any claims like this with a pinch of salt right now, and don't put much stock in either claim. Look, I'm neither I want it to succeed, but I'm not one of these people that's going to cheer on something that I don't think is worthy or successful. If I see something and it sucks, I tell you it sucks. If I see something I like it, yeah, I like to be honest. I know. I know there's people out there that just everything's negative, and there's people out there that they call it shills. I'm neither of those. I don't want to be either one of those. And so if it's good, I want it to be good. Now, I am concerned that there is a lot of different characters within the movie.
Right. I told you there's a lot of characters in this film, and I'm wondering if it has enough time to even give them proper screen time,
development time,
involvement, especially involvement. I don't want to have just a character just there for the sake of being there.
And is Superman the main character? I mean, he's supposed to be, right? But does he become the hero, or is he relying upon all these other people? I want Superman to be. I want him to be established.
I just want him to be the guy.
Yeah, I want to be I want him to get in there and be like, oh,
you want to add supporting stuff. That's for a Superman too.
Yeah,
I don't want Supergirl. Even Supergirl, you can do that in there.
I don't want it to be okay, here comes Hawkgirl, and Hawkgirl's going to save Superman's ass, or here comes Mr. Terrific. Doesn't it? And nothing against Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific.
It's just Superman is made to be Superman.
Yeah, let's not start him off.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
It's weird because the trailer, which we loved the trailer. I really did love the trailer. It did start out with a very vulnerable Superman bleeding and whatnot. So I'm okay, so something happened. We're not sure because we haven't seen the movie. But I don't want to totally vulnerable. Superman's vulnerable to one thing:
kryptonite. That's it. And that should be that way. That and maybe holding Lois Lane hostage.
Yeah,
but even then, you just get Dark Superman. So you
get Dark Superman. Yeah. By the way, how many kryptonites? There's 31 different kryptonites now.
Oh God!
I was looking this up. I mean, I did a video on some of the kryptonites.
The colors are.
I did a short on one of them.
The colors are wild.
Yeah. Some give Kryptonian powers. Some take them away permanently. Some only affect plant life. Then there's the pink kryptonite, which we won't get into.
We won't get into that one. Let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about the pink.
There's
kryptonite.
Even another one.
You want to know? Check out the short. It's on the channel. What pink kryptonite will do. But there's all sorts of kryptonite now that does all sorts of things, and it's sort of okay, it's getting a little just too much.
We tried to make him too vulnerable.
Yeah,
it just doesn't really work still.
Yeah,
you have to keep it's not like a mugger on the streets and be like, I got a rock.
Yeah, but then we already talked about Hawkgirl, we talk about Mr. Trip, but then you got Guy Gardner,
you've got
the most surly Green Lantern out there, which is an awesome character. You don't want to shortchange him.
You're going to give him good time.
You want to give him good time. But then, by the way, people making fun of his haircut. That's his haircut.
That's his haircut. I like it.
It's comic book accurate. This is his haircut. he looks like an idiot. He does. He's got that bowl cut, right?
That's the point.
Yeah, it's just, you'd be angry too if your hair was like that. It looks like, it looks like a wig, but Nathan Fillion's, I think that looks great in it. But the one character I'm concerned about is Metamorpho, who I really want to be really good. That's a story you can't just be like, I'm going to gloss over this and give it like 2 minutes of exposition and be like, all right, you're all cut up. No, Metamorpho goes through some crap.
They might be setting him up. It might be like here he is. He kind of gets introduced, but a lot more is left on the table so that they can kind of give him his own time, just to kind of also test him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
because worst case scenario, you still somewhat establish him in this.
Yeah, I know they're going for an International Justice League or Justice League International.
Yeah, they're going for it. This is you're setting up a Justice League with this.
So,
do you think they reference the Bat in the film at all? Do you think there's a reference?
No, I think they stay clear away from the Batman.
You sure?
I think they stay clear away from Batman in this film. I think they don't even go near Batman. I think it's really, really important to keep those two separate until the appropriate time to actually put them together.
You don't think there's going to be a little Easter egg? Maybe a newspaper?
Maybe something like that, but not
Bat of Gotham.
But none of the characters are going to reference him. None of the characters are going to say anything.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a one line in there that is homage.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because if you're setting up the Justice League, you got to set up the kind of somewhat like, okay, they're aware this figure exists.
Here's my concern.
No matter what, Batman's coming into this universe, whether it's the Patterson Batman or a new Batman.
Well, here's my concern, right? You look at the previous DCU or DCEU. They went so fast with everything. It's like they're like, compared to the Marvel, took 10 years. That was a slow burn up to Thanos. Like it took 10, 11 years. Introduce this character, then how they figure into this and how they figure it out. Okay, we're going to put them together in the Avengers and whatnot. And then, but we get to the DCU, it's like we need to hurry up and do something like Avengers because they wanted the money, and they just slapped everybody together. You're like, wait a minute,
this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it really just, I think it hurt the overall aesthetics. It didn't have the impact that. So yeah. I think slow burn.
No, I agree. Slow burn.
And then you think about the Holy Trinity with Wonder Woman. Who's going to play Wonder Woman? Is Gal Gadot going to play Wonder Woman again? I don't think so. Know. And then how do you introduce her? You're already introducing Supergirl. So I mean, it's not like you need Wonder Woman. You already have Supergirl, but you're going to need Wonder Woman at some point in time. At some point in time, if it's the Justice League, do you bring back Aquaman?
You do. You have to
for something, or do you go? You're going to have the Green Lantern series. So now we're going to have 3 Green Lanterns out there with Guy Gardner, Jon Stewart, and Hal Jordan.
It's gonna be fun. So it's gonna be fun. I know there's a lot there. There's a lot in the play. And well, my concern is, I bet they'll figure this. They'll figure into this. I mean, why not kind of try to introduce Wonder Woman and like the Supergirl, like as like the end. Like I'd have the end cut scenes. Like, hey, Supergirl, you got training to do. How about Themyscira? Set up a Supergirl too.
Well, yeah. Well, send her over there to train with Wonder Woman. I mean, that's a story that they've done.
Exactly, but it's like what I mean. There's it's reasonable.
Yeah. So, and I just want to see if there's anything there.
Yeah, don't worry, I've been watching.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting.
I'm excited. I think this has a lot of good potential. I think so long as they take their time, they don't try to shove as many cameos as they can.
Yeah,
I think we'll be fine.
Lack of clarity.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, Gods and Monsters last year, publicly said some won't happen and that nothing will be greenlit until a script is finished. Why is that a lack of clarity? That's a good thing.
I think because people want to know now.
Which is why Clayface is coming before the likes of Booster Gold and Paradise Lost. Now, Paradise Lost has got to be Wonder Woman because Paradise Island.
Yes.
And then Booster Gold is an awesome character.
You love Booster Gold.
Booster Gold's funny as hell.
I love him. He's great. But you love him especially.
Yeah. I did a whole thing on Booster Gold on the channel.
I'm aware.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. So far, I don't see the problem continuity confusion. We're not worried about. Don't worry about.
We don't even have a story yet. How can you be confused?
How can you be confused? All right. Oh, well, I get it because some of Peacemaker's. All right. So Peacemaker and Suicide Squad and those things, like some of it's canon, some of it's not. And like Peacemaker's canon.
It's gotta be. I mean, you give it its own series,
Some of it's canon.
Unless you want to keep it like, or what you could do is like multiverse. Is that what you're building up?
No, multiverse? Stay away from the multiverse.
That
didn't work for Marvel. It ain't gonna work for them.
It might be what they're trying to build up to, keeping everything separate, but then they all kind of come together at a certain point. It's possible. It's not a bad idea. It's complicated, but you can build it up with the lanterns and kind of the other.
I can't stand anymore. Marvel has soured me on the multiverse. Absolutely soured me on the multiverse. I don't want to do multiverse anymore. I just want to see straight up. Let's do this. Yeah. So there's a lot of information, and you can interpret it how you want. That's how. If you want to take it negatively, take it negatively. You want to take it positively, take it positively. I'm taking it as there's not enough information to make a definite decision. People out there already putting the nail in the coffin of the DCU.
People jumping the gun.
People, yeah. Give the guy a chance. And when if he fails, you all come back and say, "Told you so." All right. But if he succeeds, you say, "Well, some other people can say, I told you so. You succeeded." Not everything's gonna be perfect. I mean, you look at the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
It's not perfect. I mean, let's look at the second Iron Man is not well beloved, even though I think it's okay. Yeah. The third one, I mean, a lot of people don't like the first Captain America, even though you and I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually thought it would be the opposite.
I mean, no offense.
I love the first Captain America.
Thor, Dark World, we throw that out there as a friggin'...
No. I've had enough of Thor, Dark World.
Even the first Thor wasn't that great. I mean, I mean, until Ragnarok, there really wasn't a great Thor movie. And then, of course, you got Love and Thunder.
Which was just a mess.
Which was just a disaster. But even sticking to the earlier ones, let's kind of go through them. I mean, you got...
Well, first Iron Man's great.
First Iron Man's great, yeah.
I really do love the first Captain America.
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really good film. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah.
It's a great just solo Captain America adventure. Set him up. Here's his background. Man out of time.
Yeah.
Gives you a lot of kind of connection. And then the first Thor movie was good. I sometimes when I rewatch it, I can't watch like the first 40 minutes. I just can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it takes.
You know who annoys me in that movie is what's not Natalie Portman, but
the other girl,
the other girl. What's her name? Kat Dennings or something like. Oh my god. Oh, every time she opens her mouth, I'm just like, oh god. You know what? I know we're live here, so we're gonna go into let's go to IMDb.
Yeah, I've got this. Yeah, Kat Dennings. You're right.
Marvel.
I always forget that Anthony Hopkins was Odin. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just I don't see because when he has the helmet on and the eye patch, you just kind of don't notice it. Don't make the connection. Wow, halftime 34-8, Ohio.
Here we go.
Butchery. What are you looking for?
I mean, I'm just looking at this list. I mean, you think there's going to be some misses in the DCU. There's going to be some that people go, you know what, that wasn't that great. Like I said, Thor: The Dark World. It's definitely with Captain Marvel. I know
God,
okay.
No.
The first Ant-Man was good. Yeah. The second Ant-Man was terrible. The third Ant-Man was just god awful.
I thought the second Ant-Man was okay. I didn't think it was terrible. I think you're too mean to it.
I thought it was terrible. I did not enjoy that. I mean, I know it just, Shang-Chi and the Legend of that was terrible.
I don't remember Shang-Chi.
Black Panther. I watched halfway. Dude, I was on a flight from Rome, and I said, "Oh, Black Panther. I've not seen Black. It's free right here." I'm on a 14-hour flight. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give 2 hours of this 14 hours to Black Panther." About 30, 40 minutes in, I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'd rather just stare out the window."
You really didn't like it?
I really didn't like it. It really just. I didn't think it was like the massive
movie that
people made it out to be. I thought it was whatever. I thought the CGI was terrible.
I think it's a very simple. I mean, it's a good story. It's a Black Panther story, but I think I think people are making it bigger than it actually was. It was story. They were talking about it's a groundbreaking story. I'm like, no, this is a very traditional story. Not really that groundbreaking to me. I mean, maybe because I grew up with comics, so that could be why.
Yeah,
but that's how I viewed it.
But other than that, I mean, there's.
What other movies are there? Black Widow.
That don't count. I don't think. That's the one movie I haven't seen.
I don't even know about Black Widow.
It came out streaming in theaters on the same day during COVID, and that's why Scarlett Johansson sued Disney, because she would have made a certain amount of money kicked in as a bonus if it did so well at the theaters, but since it was released on streaming, that cannibalized it, and so she was ticked off, and so that.
I don't know if that was really a smart choice to sue Disney.
Well, she won because she got some money. She won.
Well, she won. No, good for her, but at the same time, it's like.
I don't think she cares. I don't know if you're going to see her back for whatever they're gonna do now. I know Chris Evans is coming back. I know Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. I'm sure Mark Ruffalo will be back, even though he's insufferable.
You don't like Mark Ruffalo
As a person, dude, he's one of those. He's crazy. He's like one of those crazy people because the person that won the election wasn't the guy he wanted to win. So he's crazy. He's got TDS, dude. He's totally nuts.
Great.
Oh yeah,
I have no clue about it.
He's out of his mind.
Seems like a nice guy.
He'd be a nice guy, but you still be out of your mind. There's plenty of homeless idiots and crazy people in Boston. They were really nice people. They were crazy though.
That's fair.
So, anyways, the other thing that came out was this, and I'm not going to get copyrighted, but anyways, the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trailer came out, and I can't play because I don't want to be copyrighted. I'll play a little pieces of it here, but it's when he's really young in high school. He's really awkward.
So like classic Peter Parker.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we could call it classic.
He's always been awkward.
Here.
That's kind of the Peter Parker I knew.
So here's where I get like weirded out. Okay, so it's going. Now, see this person?
Right.
I can't do the auto because I don't want to get. But the bad guys that are chasing this person. First of all, when you see that person, what do you think? Gender-wise.
Woman.
Okay. Well, when they're chasing, they say, and they jump over the car. The people chasing, get him.
Are you talking about
That
Spider-Man or that person?
This person. Right?
Payback? Are you sure? That's a woman.
The voice doesn't. When you hear the voice, it's
what?
And
great. I have no audio, so I don't know.
So
next victim in his dumb.
Yeah. Let me turn that down. So yeah, it's yeah, I'm not sure. I
think it's meant to be ambiguous.
It's an ambiguous victim. Anyways, so
all right.
So this came out. It's a cartoon. I'm sure it's going to be okay. There is some people concerned out there that Harry Osborn has been race swapped, and then for some reason Harry Osborn, they might be playing around with his origin story, Spider-Man's origin story.
No, do not touch it.
We'll have to see. But it's definitely, this is all pre-Tony Stark, pre-Avengers, pre-Civil War, because he's got on the weird goggles.
Is this supposed to be kind of separate from the universe or the same universe?
I've seen different takes on that. It's either or.
Because if it's because you can do multiverse, because you open that up with the Miles Morales Spider-Man 2, remember?
True.
Into the Spider-Verse.
True. But I mean, the artwork looks good.
I like the artwork. It's comic book style mixed with cartoon.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good. But
I don't expect to hate it, but I'm sure there's going to be problems with it.
I'm going to have problems with it. I bet. I just know it.
I'm sure there's going to be things that
if I'm guessing already who your victim is, I'm going to have a problem with your film.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't want social identity.
But within the trailer, he's very, very shy and awkward, almost to the point of almost like, okay, a little too much. I mean, I get it. He's supposed to be that way. But not there you go. That's your new Harry Osborn.
Look, well, hold on. Is this Harry Osborn supposed to be the Harry Osborn like that I know? Like
Green Goblin, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
What's with the race swap?
I don't know. Yes, we'll have to deal with it.
All right.
See if it works out.
Hopefully it works out.
Gets the new white suit there and all that stuff. So apparently he gets a suit from Harry Osborn before he gets a suit from Iron Man.
I don't think this has anything to do with that universe. I think they're keeping
it's got to be a separate universe.
Yeah, separate. It's a Spider-Verse.
And the reason I say I don't know because I've read two different articles with two different takes on it.
I'm gonna believe that it's the Spider-Verse is one of those branched off universes.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. And I think makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that gives them a lot of ways to kind of that lets them mess with the background without damaging him as much, you know? Yeah. You may damage the Spider-Verse, but you won't damage Spider-Man. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Picking up what I'm putting down? That's good.
I really am. So back to me. Look at it, just me. You're off screen. You're off screen, you can do whatever you want now.
Me?
Yeah, see?
Woo!
So,
What's up?
but
Is that everything?
no, I mean, yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's just weird. Like all these technical. I can't wait to get into our. What are we? 2 weeks away? 3 weeks away from being in our studio or our office, our real studio office.
Pretty
So,
much. We're gonna have to figure out.
I say studio. You probably. I mean, there's a room that I
dedicated.
belong in that's not padded. It's specially built to have all my stuff in it and set up proper got outlets. Like the room that we're in now, the Airbnb that we're in now. The houses in Mexico are very old. Normally, I don't know. What would you say? This is the 40s, 50s?
This is like 50s or 60s.
50s or 60s. So like you literally have one outlet per room. No matter how big that room is, you've got one outlet.
Maybe two.
So literally
Maybe two.
we got one outlet here and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things plugged in to an octopus like thing into this one outlet. And in the studio, the house that my wife put together and designed has outlets everywhere for me. So that'll be a lot more useful. And then I'll be able to sort of decorate it because none of this, well, half the stuff behind me is mine. Half the stuff isn't. Figure that out. But yeah. But that's the news. That's the news of the day. That's what's been going on. We're going to be streaming some video games later on today. And
what were we streaming?
probably some baseball again.
Sweet. I can kick your ass live.
No, well, I mean, just be gentle about it. You know, I'm an old man.
Don't matter.
I am an old man.
I'm equal to everyone.
But I definitely want to figure out all these. It's not as easy to, you know, people are like, oh, you've got a camera, you just set up and stream. It's like, well, if you want to just do that, that's fine. But when you want like a background or something like that, and then for some reason your computer is, you know, not cooperating, it becomes a lot harder to do that. So, but all right, anything else?
Nope.
You want to get back to football?
Yeah, here in a bit. I mean, it's a blowout, but maybe to make
What's
you
the
come back.
score now?
It's like 31-8.
Really?
Yeah. Number 1 seed Oregon's getting blown out.
Well, no Sugar Bowl tonight. There's no other games, right?
Yeah.
Sugar Bowl is going to be what, tomorrow night?
I believe so.
24 hours? Okay. Well, whatever. Good. You checking on that?
What, the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it is postponed to tomorrow.
Awesome.
24-hour postponement. Unless they make it longer. Which I don't think they will because then it messes with the whole schedule.
True.
They already had talked to ESPN and everything.
Well, who's left in the tournament?
We have Ohio, Oregon technically, right? And then we
Also
have
Ohio, because Oregon's not coming back.
hey, maybe they do. Who knows?
Texas.
You have Texas, and you have either Notre Dame or Georgia, and you have the other games that they played. Who won? Penn State. Penn State's in it,
Penn State.
I believe, and I think that's everyone.
Go
If I'm
Notre
not
Dame.
mistaken. Go Notre Dame.
Go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes.
What happened to Michigan and Michigan State?
Michigan had a really rough season.
Yeah.
They surprised Alabama in the Relay Quest Bowl, I believe it is. Doesn't matter, but I mean, kind of proved leaving Alabama was the right decision.
What was the bowl that they were in?
Relay Quest.
The frig is the ReliaQuest Bowl?
I don't know. I think it's an insurance company.
Oh, man. When I was a kid, there were like 5 bowls.
Yeah, I know.
There was the Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl. I'm missing something.
Orange Bowl,
I said that.
Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl.
Sugar, Cotton, Rose.
You had the Fiesta Bowl?
That came a little later. So there used to be the Sun Bowl as well.
Orange Bowl?
I said the Orange Bowl.
Said Orange Bowl. Sorry, I keep repeating what you're saying.
Cotton, Sugar, Orange, Rose. Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so I mean the bowl
Because it makes sense for 5 because the Rose Bowl was the championship.
normally
The
a
final.
lot of the times, but sometimes the Orange Bowl would be depending on who was in it. But now there's just bowls everywhere, like the Taco Bell Fiesta Bowl and all that stuff. But cool. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get something to eat. I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Getting there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
time to go. It's time to go find. It's time to go find a wife and see what we're gonna eat for dinner. So, Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
We'll be
Feliz Año
streaming-
Nuevo.
We'll be streaming some. Wow, was that a what Was that fireworks or was that?
Firework, probably. Firework, probably. It's not a gunshot.
I hope so. Jeez. Because when you hear something like that, you expect to hear sirens later.
Hey, maybe you will.
Maybe I will. So we'll be streaming some video games a little bit later on today. So hopefully join us for that. We won't be on camera. The video we usually put because then all you see is my anguished face as I lose. So with that, Happy New Year. We're gonna get on out of here. Thanks for checking in on this afternoon. All right, see ya.